Guy's gorgeous. Anyways, got some grief. Not grief, whatever. I was up in Chicago about not having uploaded anything in a while. So I'm going to try and do a short one so I don't have any excuses for not uploading it. Done 3 or 4 that were like 30 minutes long. And I said I'm not going to wait that long for it to upload to YouTube. So anyways, just going to do the back here. Up along the ridge and down to there. There's my fucking finger. Why do I do that all the time? Anyways, we put these guys in a couple weeks ago. These little cypresses. I don't remember how big they get. They're gonna get quite tall, and hopefully anchor in some of the slope and kind of block the view of our neighbors. Not that we feel spied on or anything, but just, you know, some general privacy. The coyote brush are all tossing their seeds about. Backyard is like all this white stuff here, that's all just coyote brush fluff. It's not dust, although it looks like it. It's just all coyote brush seeds, and I wouldn't mind if we have more set like those ones down there. Those are all free plants. Fucking take it. They belong here, and I've probably said it a million times, but they're pioneer plants, and so coyote brush comes in and kind of loosens things up for other plants to follow through after. So don't mind if you do there, guys. I also quite like how it turned out, because it's gonna slow the water down as it moves across our property and hold it on our property, which will be good for a number of reasons. Number one being I want to plant more back here, but the water really stays locked in. I don't know if I covered this in any of the past videos, but we'll go over it again even if I did. So what happened here was we had an issue down at that was a spigot down here on the red barn there. It's been cut off, and what happened was something chewed through, if I remember right, it was back in June, something chewed through the hose. Hose was leaking. Couldn't get it shut off or something like that, so I went to remove the hose. Hose wouldn't come off. It was calcium buildup, had it locked on, and had to cut through down there, but the water pressure coming down from here was just too great, and so whenever I would try and put the cap on, the cap would just shoot off up into the sky. I thought I had it 2 or 3 times, and it was not great. Anyways, ended up having to turn the water off. We got a water box back there. Let's turn the water off back there. Got it capped off. And I went up here and was like, well, let's figure out what's going on. I'm not sure if this is the right chain of events. Jenny will correct me. Anyway, I decided, since we're going to probably put another spigot in down here, or down there, probably move it to here. Might as well have a cut off here, so I put in a ball valve so we can cut it off and not cut off water to the whole house. And yeah, it's been like that for almost 6 months now. It was too fucking hot to finish it up, and there just hasn't been a good need, because as you can see, all the succulents got moved out from back there during the summer. It just got too hot for them, and they got moved back up by the house. And yeah, so they're all gone. So no rush in getting the water replaced. Put this guy in. I want to say it's a thick leaf yerba buena, yerba something, yerba santa. I don't remember. Native in any case. I don't think it's really gonna like this spot, but we're gonna take a risk with it because of the drainage that it'll hopefully get from the being on a slope. And yeah, it's been in there for a couple weeks and seems to be doing all right. I don't know if you can see the leaves there. They're a little sad, but I think that's just from transplant. It's put on a bunch of new growth. I'm a terrible cameraman. Anyways, it's been eaten on a few times by caterpillars and such, and I can't be mad about that because it's part of the reason why you want one. Caterpillars and butterflies and moths like it. So another relatively new addition here is the is it sugar bush? Yeah, because that's the lemonade berry back there. Sugar bush, another sugar bush. Matching with that one down there on the left. We'll go over and take a look at that in a minute, but it's coming in pretty good. Both sugar bush and lemonade berry pretty close. That's the lemonade berry over there. Go look at that in a moment, but both of them are pretty close, closely related. If we were still closer to the coast, we'd want to do the lemonade berry, but out here, a little bit further inland, you want to do the sugar bush because it handles the heat better. And it looks like it's gonna flower. Come on, focus, 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 you fuck. Yeah, whatever. But it's done really well. This is really loose here because of all the, all this right through here is just all stuff that's fallen off of this tree here, which is a pepper tree. Just over the years it's dropped all this. It's been trimmed back since then, but I still got all this here, so that's real loose, and I didn't think it would like that, but it seems to be doing all right. Maybe that's an explanation as to why that one's growing so slow, because that's all super hard compacted clay down there. Anyway, that's a sage of some sort. I was just at Walter Anderson today, and they are selling a few more. And again, another one that doesn't necessarily want to be up here, or in this clay. But again, hoping the slope helps. And the underneath it, I put in some stones and a little bit of gypsum to try and keep the the clay loose enough for it to dig its roots in and have some drainage. This is the main thing it wants. We'll see. It's been doing all right. It's bloomed a couple times, but that could also just be stress. Could be like, oh, I'm gonna die. Better reproduce while I can. So we'll see. We'll see what it does. This little lemonade berry has been here since about, I don't know, spring. Again, Jenny will correct me. She's got a better memory for these sorts of things, but it's coming in all right. It's moving a little slow, but that's fine. Rather it took its time, so its roots real good, and then started popping off rather than shooting up. God, why can't I keep this camera pointed right? I'm really happy about it. It was my first attempt at planting in this clay, and I'm a little afraid of what's going to happen with it long term because I dug it out so deep and then backfilled it with looser soil. I'm afraid it's just a clay pot in there that's going to hold on to water when the rains start coming through again, and it might drown unless it started digging in with its roots into the clay, which there's no way to know unless I dig it up, and I'm not about to fucking do that. What else we got back here? Like I said, we got all these coyote brush that's sprung up with this year. They're gorgeous. And again, I'm not gonna turn down free plants, especially ones that are gonna help break this soil up and help the water get in. I don't know if you can see or if the camera's gonna catch it right, but we just got all this fluff floating around from these guys, and as we expand our planting around back here, we'll dig them up or move them or something. But for now, I'm happy to just let them be and do their thing. Let them be the pioneers, get it set up for other Cali natives to come in and get a good start. Over here, we've got the compost pile, quotation marks around all of that. It's more of the discards pile. Need to sort through it to get the soil that's been in there. Most of it's probably leached all of its good nutrition by this point with the rains and whatnot, but it was, about as tall as I am. Now I'd say it comes up to about my waist. So, again, I'll take it. you know, I was like, oh, it'll take a year before it's usable. And then my dumbass tossed in stuff that's going to take a couple years to break down. And so if I want to use any of it, I got to sort it out. And it's a lot of work. And I'm pretty lazy, so hasn't been used. This is the other sugar bush, the first sugar bush. Might have been the first bush we put in back here. It's coming real good. I think we put it in around December, January last year, maybe even February. Again, Jenny will let me know. Look at all that great growth down there. It's a little dirty. Got some clay splashed up on it as I was watering it down. Tossed in some seeds from Cali Natives down here, and we'll see if they take. Laid them out on top of the mulch, which is a risk. We've got some other stuff on top of the mulch. They were, I don't know if you noticed back over there, but there were a couple of sunflower seedlings poking through, and I didn't add those into the compost. Hey, here's another one. Sunflower seedlings coming through, and so I don't know, it's an experiment. I put more of them down here too. Worst case scenario, I wasted some seed, and best case scenario, we get 25% take rate or something like that, and get some more Cali Natives out here. Main thing I'm looking for is to try and reduce the erosion happening around this drain over here. I won't stick the camera down there, but these boards on the left there, or I'm in the center now, cover up a hole next to that drain, and I'd say it's almost completely hollow underneath it, and we're going to need a professional, like an engineer out here, to figure out what's going on and how we can, what we need to do. It's going to be expensive, whatever it is, but I've made some changes to try and increase the lifespan of it. I widened this out to slow down the water a little bit. Piled up some of the clay over the lip of the concrete, because the concrete ends right about in here. And what was happening was the water had eroded the clay around it, and so it was just kind of seeping underneath the concrete, which wasn't going to help at all. Same thing around the lip up here. It's not very visible anymore, but things I'm anxious about. This tree that was here that took root here, I don't know how old it was. That didn't help either. Underneath here, looking down in that hole, you can see all the roots sticking out the bottom. So I'm pretty concerned as that decomposes as well, or as those roots decompose, that what it'll do. Certainly going to hasten the this little canal sluice. I don't know, falling out. Yeah, that's part of the reason why I made this a priority. I laid down a bunch of the gorilla hair mulch to start trapping water underneath it. Planted that Lakeside Ceanothus today. So I haven't looked up if it's named after the town of Lakeside or if it's just because it grows lakeside. My guess is it grows lakeside because it likes to be kind of near water where it can tap into the water table down below. We've got, you can't see it, maybe we can, but we've got a stream that runs down here. It feeds into a lake down the ways. Pond, lake, it's a very small lake. Lake that lakeside is next to. Anyways, planted that in today and hoping that goes well. And I got a few other plants at Walter Anderson, the plant nursery, put in with it. A couple grasses that are good with drought conditions, and I want to say a coffee berry and something else. Not great companion plants for the Lakeside Ceanothus, but that's just an experiment, man. See what happens. Watch what happens live. Despite this having been run over by a truck when they took down the deck up there, this is doing really well. These orange ball beans here, were doing very poorly over the summer. They were in grow bags and were not happy at all about their lot in life out here in Lakeside. They weren't ever happy in the grow bags come summer, and when we were still in San Diego proper, but out here they were really hating life. So I had the bright idea of digging out this. Dug down a foot or two for 2 or 3 days, basically digging out graves and backfilled it with succulent mix and some of the clay again to kind of keep things broken up, or the succulent mix to keep the clay broken up. And these guys didn't look like they were going to come through, and they did. I'm really happy about that. Excited to see what they'll be looking like by springtime next year. We got some of this pickle plant down here. I'm a little concerned. It's if I remember right, it's fairly closely related to the ice plant, and so I'm a little afraid it'll just kind of start running wild if I let it. So I'll have to keep an eye on that. And then my portularias. This guy got absolutely run over by the truck. You can see the divot here where the truck's wheel went through, and it was standing upright, and now it's slouched over a little bit, but it pulled through. You can see all the newish growth on it and those dark spots. Will this work? Yeah. So you can see like that dark purple, and then you can see the older growth is gray. It's gorgeous, man. There's a downtown, there's a portularia next to a parking lot near the courthouse, I think. It's gotta be a decade old, if not longer. And this is taller than I am. And that's my hopes for this guy here. Got a couple of the smaller ones. They're probably cuttings off that guy that I potted up and then grew on. That one's not. That's a prone variety. But yeah, I'm really happy about this. And you can see this sunflower here. I think it was late summer. I tossed in some sunflower seeds to see what would happen. None of them took. And maybe about a month ago, this guy popped his head up, and hopeful. These calincos here are supposed to be indoor plants, but they're doing just fine. Probably because it's fall and winter. And we'll see what happens spring and summer with them. So much of this is just experimentation. Kind of like this whole planter bed was, which was an experiment to see how do we keep the fucking squirrels, rabbits, and birds out. And the answer was you can't. But I don't know. A few months ago, they just kind of all disappeared. They stopped eating here. At least one rabbit's back and going through and eating our shit, but not in here. And taking advantage of it. We've never been able to grow cabbage because it didn't get cold enough out towards the water. So we got some cabbages in there. I just shoved in a few Swiss chard seedlings, and just been letting these tomatoes go wild, as you can see. And they're just all tangled up in there. I haven't been trying to constrain them at all. And it's late in the year, but we're still getting something off of them. Some veggies, a couple of Cali natives in here. I think they're sages. And some tomatillos that I thought weren't going to make it. And, I planted so much of this in spring and summer, and you're just getting eaten all the time. So I stopped coming down here, stopped worrying about it. And then I come back down and pull the bird netting off, and man, everything's looking so good. Really excited about it. Anyway, I won't go up there because then this will turn into a much longer video, but there you all go. It's the backyard. We still got to tear down that white shed or white barn at some point, the red one. Get that fucking trailer out of here and the other refuse, debris, whatever you want to call it. This I'm just waiting to break down. It's just all wood shit that prior owners had tossed out here, and letting it break down. I'm not going to try and sort through all this. And maybe one day it'll be a good spot to plant with all this wood rotted on top of it. I have fears that so much of it was pressure treated that it's going to take a while before anything really wants to. It's not pressure treated. Maybe it is. You know, the treatment that you don't really want to be growing stuff in, anyways. So we'll see what happens here. There's a bike back there if anyone wants it. Anyway, that's it. I'm not even grumpy today. How great is that?